Let's talk about Revelation 13. It's one of the most famous and, let's be honest, one of the most terrifying chapters in the entire Bible. We're talking about a world united behind a monstrous beast, a deceptive prophet, and a mark that literally controls who can buy or sell. For centuries, these symbols have sparked so much debate, so much confusion. We're going to cut through all the speculation, breaking down what these incredibly powerful visions actually represent.
So, here's our roadmap. We're just going to follow the chapter's own dramatic flow. First, we'll get a look at the master plan, what is called an unholy Trinity. Then, we'll meet the two major players, these terrifying agents on Earth. After that, we'll dig into the infamous mark they use for control, and we'll wrap up with the chapter's final, powerful message about what it truly means to stand firm against all of it.
Before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, I just want this one line to sink in for a second. And the whole earth marveled as they followed the beast. This isn't some small regional conflict we're talking about. John's vision is describing a global phenomenon, a total planetary shift in allegiance, and it's driven by pure awe. You have to keep that massive scale in mind as we start to unravel how this all happens. Okay, so where do we even begin with this? Well, the key to unlocking this entire chapter is to realize that we're not just looking at two random, scary monsters. What we're actually seeing is the grand unveiling of an unholy Trinity. These are Satan's primary agents on Earth. Think of it like a dark mirror, a twisted reflection of the divine. It's a satanic counterfeit of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So you've got the dragon, who is Satan, acting as the puppet master behind the scenes. But he doesn't work alone. He operates through two incredibly powerful instruments on Earth, one that wields raw political force, and another that uses seductive religious deception. And their shared goal, is to command total global worship. First up is the muscle of the operation, the beast from the sea. This creature is terrifying, and it represents the full, crushing weight of worldly political and military power. It's a global system that rules through pure coercion and fear. Every single detail about this beast is symbolic. It rises from the sea, which in the Bible often represents the chaos of the nations. Its body is this mashup of a leopard, a bear, and a lion, and that's a direct callback to the book of Daniel. It symbolizes the combined predatory power of every world empire that came before, all rolled into one final monstrous form. But the real masterstroke of deception? It suffers a fatal wound that miraculously heals. It's a demonic parody of Christ's resurrection, and it's so spectacular that it literally makes the entire world marvel and fall in line. And make no mistake, this is not some neutral world government. No, it's an actively anti-God power. It's given a very specific time frame, 42 months, to just unleash its fury. It openly blasphemes God, and this is crucial, it declares war on believers. The text is blunt. It will physically conquer the saints, demanding and receiving worship from pretty much everyone on the planet. But, brute force alone is never enough for total control. You also have to win over hearts and minds, and that's where the second beast comes into play. If the first beast is the iron fist, this one is the velvet glove. It's the propaganda arm of the unholy Trinity. And notice where this beast comes from. Not the chaotic sea of nations, but the earth. This isn't some new chaotic force. It's something that grows out of the established, organized structures of human civilization. It's a global, institutionalized religion, and it's designed specifically to support the political beast. And this right here, this is the absolute heart of its deception. On the outside, it looks like a lamb, a perfect imitation of Christ. It appears gentle, spiritual, maybe even benevolent. But then it speaks. And when it speaks, the voice is the voice of the dragon, arrogant, demanding, and purely satanic. It is the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing. So, its mission is absolutely laser-focused. Make the entire world adore the first beast. How does it do it? Well, first, it dazzles everyone with incredible miracles, performing great signs to win their trust and prove that the system is legitimate. Then, it channels all of that adoration into a tangible object of worship, an image of the beast, and it makes allegiance to that image a matter of life and death. And all of this leads to one of the most chilling concepts in all of prophecy, the mark of the beast. This isn't just some abstract symbol. It's the actual mechanism of enforcement. It's how the system ensures 100% compliance. So what is this mark, really? For just a second, let's forget all the sensationalism about tattoos or microchips. The symbol points to something much, much bigger, a complete system of ownership and absolute control. Its real power is in just how all-encompassing it is. It's placed on the right hand or the forehead, and that signifies a total surrender. Your actions, your commerce, and your ideology, they all now belong to the beast system. Its primary function is economic warfare. Without it, you are completely locked out of society. And just like everything else this Trinity does, the mark is a counterfeit, a blasphemous parody of the seal of God that identifies true believers. And what about that infamous number, 666? Well, the source suggests we stop trying to crack it like it's some secret code and start seeing it for the powerful symbol that it is. See, in the Bible, the number 7 often represents divine perfection and completeness. 6 is the number of humanity, always falling just a little bit short. So 666 isn't a password, it's a symbol of humanity's greatest attempt to achieve godlike status on its own. It represents a triple failure, falling short in every possible way. It is the ultimate symbol of human pride. So, after painting this incredibly bleak picture of global control and deception, you might expect the chapter to just end in despair. But it doesn't. It makes a sharp pivot, and it delivers a powerful, direct command to those who refuse to bow down. And here it is. This is the core takeaway of the entire chapter. In the face of this overwhelming evil, what is the believer's response? It's not a call to arms. It's not some clever political strategy. It is simply patient endurance and faithfulness. That's it. That is the victory. And we have to be perfectly clear about what this means. The source is adamant about this. This text offers no illusion of a political or military victory for the saints during this time. In fact, it basically promises the opposite. Resistance will lead to capture, to persecution, and to death. They will be physically conquered by the beast system. So the chapter leaves us with two starkly different paths. The world's path is wide, it's easy, just marvel at the beast's power, take the mark so you can survive and prosper. The saints' path, though, is narrow and hard. It's a path of endurance, refusing to bow, rejecting the mark, even if it means financial ruin, persecution, and ultimately death. In this completely upside-down kingdom, true victory isn't defined by surviving, but by remaining faithful. And so this ancient vision lands right in our modern world with a profound and, frankly, uncomfortable question. In a culture that increasingly demands conformity in what we think, what we say, and what we do, in a world that constantly offers rewards for our allegiance, what does true faithfulness actually look like? That's a question not just for some distant future, but for right here and right now.